Good morning, everybody. Morning. Okay, so I have a couple thoughts in my brain. Angie and I had such an amazing time in Mexico, and David and Justin and the kids. And we don't want to go back without everybody. So I know y'all hopefully are feeling the same. I'm sure there's thoughts and emotions and all things popping up because, as you know, this business, it takes work. It takes a lot of grit. It takes up leveling of our own character. There can be some really high highs and really low lows, and there's a lot that is out of our control, but there is a lot that is within our control. And it is this industry in general, y'all know, you have experience in this. It is just an interesting bear. And this is something that has helped my brain recently, because Genevieve has actually said this in the Diamond Sprints. This is not passive income. So if I've ever said that to you guys, that was wrong. It is residual in a sense, because we couldn't create what the team is without everybody. It takes a team, right? And it takes a lot of people, not a lot, but it takes people continuing to work. And so I think what I have seen over the past 8 years is that people come and go, not just for the product, but also for the business. And that is super disappointing to me. And it's also sad, not even from a personal work level or income level, but from there's so many people on the team that I literally love. I love working with them. They're fun people. And some of them, I don't even know what happened. And so anyways, it's okay if you have to grieve loss of people in your organization. It doesn't mean that you have to lose the friendship, but there is a level of, when you're not working as closely together, you don't chat as much. But anyways, I don't even know why I'm on that tangent, but all that to say, Justin and I think it was just helpful at the Jewel meeting last week to hear Alec and Taro and Jean and different ones say, we've burned the boats, you guys. There's no going back. We're still we're in it to win it, and we're ride or die. We are the ride or die. And so it was helpful to hear from a corporate standpoint, we want to help you guys succeed. And I guess it was interesting. I don't know, just from, I kind of got the feeling when I was there, which I personally don't feel this in our business. But there is a level of, why did we not have new jewels this past year? Was it something that we didn't do enough of? Was it lack of leadership? Was it a lot of people are just, kind of moving back into hobbyist mode? Are we not casting vision enough for what is possible? So sometimes those thoughts pop up. I do feel in the past 2 years, since we were back in Mexico a couple of years ago, we have only tapped in more, with personal coaching and offering various things for the team. But I also think there's things that have been outside of our control, in the sense of, I don't think we realize what the ramifications of not having a corporate incentive trip for a year. That was last year. It was all last year. There was nothing. There was no contest, which I'm not exactly sure why, but things have been weird, a little bit strange after post-COVID, right? Just in the marketplace and things. So, sometimes there's moments where you sit back and reflect, and you think, okay, what could we do differently? And so I'm excited. I'm really proud of everybody. We had over 30 people earn the cruise, and I think that we'll have at least double numbers for the Punta Cana trip. So I'm encouraged about that. But the way they have set up the next year and a half, time schedule wise, is to help people qualify for Emerald Extravaganza by July 31st. So even the leaders retreat ending the month that we needed to, for our first month of qualification for Emerald, was helpful, because when we have people on our team actually pushing for something, I think all of us on this call don't necessarily need external motivations, but I do feel like we work harder when there's like a little carrot at the end of the stick, right? So I'm excited and I'm very hopeful for new jewels and for everybody to re-rank. So I thought it would be helpful for you guys just to hear Justin and my perspective that we don't feel released from this assignment yet, Plexus wise. So we're still heavily invested in our personal businesses. We still personally sponsor working to develop new silvers, senior silvers, golds. And my personal like drill down focus since that failed attempt at going emerald in July has like my focus, my vision has just become clearer. My goal in my business, which be thinking about what your goal is. So like with me sharing my goal, hopefully that is sparking ideas for you to be like, oh, writing down what that is for you. Mine is to develop more star diamond legs. So like I want more separate jewel legs. And the reason why is to show people it's still possible. Like there is, well, like Christina Williams said from stage the other day, she's like, still people are still doing hard things. People are still enrolling in Harvard. People are still like having babies without meds. Like people, there's still tons of entrepreneurs in the world. And so I don't know if there's a little bit of like, for people that have been around Plexus for a while, if there's a feeling like, oh, my network's tapped, or I mean, even for us, we may be having thoughts pop up. But I think Trisha Rieger is such an inspiration. The fact that she has gone diamond, her husband has gone emerald, and she is now a re-entry senior. She's going for, is it senior ruby this month, or I don't know, senior ruby, I think. She went ruby between convention and the end of August. And like, to me, that is super, super inspiring. I hope you all got a chance to watch her video and take notes. And for anybody on our teams that is really wanting to earn the Punta Cana trip, they need to go listen to that, and they need to write you back or message you back with what their actionable items are. Because I don't want people just like being professional Zoom attenders or reading personal growth books if they're not going to actually put it into action. Like she gave some very tangible things, and I guarantee you 90% of the people, maybe 99% of the people are not doing 99% of the things that she talked about in that video. And you do not have to be an influencer. Like I think some people watched her first video like a month ago and they were like, well, yeah, of course she has a niche on Instagram, of course she's going to be a high recruiter and all the things. But she gave the example of another team on her team that small town America, they're not, I mean, they're on Facebook maybe, but they're growing because they're talking to everybody. So for whatever it's worth, I just wanted to remind you guys that we are still in it to win it. We are wanting to help more people go jewels, go jewel, sapphire, diamond, and it is completely possible. Like we truly believe that. Now, I do think it takes special people, and maybe those people aren't on the team yet, or maybe they are, but they need us to breathe some life into them, to breathe some vision into them. Or it's just like that. I'm looking for those people. I think that's the thought that I've been operating from, is I'm looking for the people that want to be emerald. Like that is what I'm framing all of my actions from. Now, I will still personally coach or voice message back and forth with people, different people on the team that maybe don't want that, right? And I'm going to help everybody, even people start products. But when I drill down to, okay, what are the tippy top things I need to do for my business today? What is my intention? And it really makes a difference in what I post, what I say, what I'm talking to people about, the vision that I cast with new people and the people that have that little spark. So I think the question is, what do you guys want? Do you want to be in Maui next year? Curious. And I think, I don't want to speak for all of us, but I want new jewels there. And those new jewels may not be the people on our teams that are currently working. They may, or they may not be. So unmute, tell me the things. Angie, I know you had some thoughts and takeaways from Mexico.
Yes, I did. I do. And I will say 100%, I do not want to be there without the rest of our teams. It was there were a couple breakdown moments for me when I was like, I mean, I know a lot of people there, and I had some great conversations and I got encouraged a lot, but not being there with you guys, it was hard on me. Like I had some emotional days where I was just like, I don't even want to be here. But like I said, I did have some really great conversations with people. I had some great takeaways in conversations about this last leaders retreat, and then now the new one that they're doing. And people had mixed thinking. A lot of the people that you would think are like definitely shoe-ins, like didn't earn it, which was really surprising to me. And myself being a high recruiter and still doing all the things in a crazy busy life, I was just determined, like, and of course, you know me, like I'm super competitive in that way, but I wasn't going to let that trip pass me by. And as I've been looking at, I woke up at 5:30 this morning and started watching Trisha's video again. I did fall back to sleep during part of it, but I had already listened to it and taken notes. There's a lot of things when I was listening to it Thursday on my way home on the airplane, and I was like, wow, she's doing a lot of things that I'm not doing. Okay. And I'm like, we all think we're the busiest person on the planet. You know, I'm like, well, I probably am. And then I listen to hers and I'm like, well, she's not working, you know, outside jobs, but she does have 7 kids and they're all school age. Like they're not, you know, I had older ones and younger ones and they kind of overlapped, but there were a lot of things that she's doing that I'm not doing. So I started implementing those. And just in the past few days, I'm getting a lot more engagement, especially on my Instagram. And it was just surprising to me that there were things that I wasn't doing. You know what I'm saying? Like we think, oh, we're doing all the things, we're doing it all, but we're not. I wasn't. And so like, I want to go listen to it again just so that I can get everything down and get in my mind. Cause you know, when you take notes, you don't get everything. And I don't know. It's just like, I'm excited to see what is going to happen in this next quarter as we're pushing towards Punta Cana and, you know, implementing these things and see what happens, you know, because I have people on my team who will do something for a week or 2 weeks or 30 days. And I'm like, nothing's happening. I'm done. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like it takes time. Anything. We know that anything takes time. So my goal is I want to get 2 people on my team to Emerald, and I'm going to just keep focusing and pushing and praying. And Lord willing, I will be in Maui next year. There's no question about it. Other than the Lord, you know, making something in my way that he doesn't want me there. But otherwise, I will definitely be there. So there's that for the morning.
Yes, thank you for telling us. What are the specific pivots that you're doing, like from Trisha's call? You did the IPA or the customer chat. I liked that idea, and I know Melody's
Yes.
done that too.
So I did a customer chat, and I'm also, isn't she the one that talked about the Stanley Cup?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I'm working my verbiage on that to do for I'm going to do it a little different, and I'm going to do it on my team page because I don't have all these individual chats going, and that's a little bit more expensive item. So I'm going to put it in there, doing that. Also, trying to do 3 reels a day. And guys, I had reels all wrong. I thought, whoops, says I'm raising my hand again. I was looking at reels as if it had to be me and it had to be something that, you know, well, whatever. And it necessarily doesn't. Like I'm shooting video, like 5 to 10-second videos of all kinds of things and just putting info in. It's just a background. It doesn't have to be me. And I've watched a ton of her stuff. And so I've been doing that. I did one the other day when I was on the airplane. It's almost at 10,000 views already. And several of them are in the thousands, you know, that are just moving. What does that mean? I don't really know, but it's getting more engagement and people are starting to comment back a little bit. I'm doing that. I'm doing the giveaways. I had already heard her talk about a month or 2 ago when she did another call about doing the frothers and the handwritten note. And I was doing something a little different, but I switched it up. I love how she says they can get 3 packages in like a week. So they get their welcome pack. First of all, they get the frother, which is $6. And then they get their welcome pack and then sending a handwritten note with a couple samples. I was doing that part, but I wasn't the froth. I was doing something different. That was a different gift. And people are responding back. They're like, I love this little frother. So I was sending the shaker bottle, which one was $10. Two, I was paying double shipping. I had to pay Plexus to send it to me. Then I had to repackage it and send it, which that's not cheap to send.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a double whammy. And people weren't really responding back. Oh, I love this shaker bottle. But the frother, like everyone on the planet doesn't have a frother in their house, And so to have that, because that's a tool you can use for lots of other things. And I like her verbiage where she said, something to the effect of, I hope you love this little frother. I don't ever want your pink drink to be clumpy because you're going to love it so much, which I thought was super clever.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it was her, I think, that had like 3 different videos that she pops into that customer chat, which I do send the videos on Project Broadcast, but sometimes it's just a little tiny pivot tweak that I'm like, well, if a little customer chat with my level ones from this year or from the last quarter is what creates engagement and fun and community and excitement, like I want to try that. But that Nikki Hinkle video of why it was like basically feeling an objection before they deal with it. By like week 3, she sends that video. Are you guys, do you know what I'm talking about? I made a little post.
Yes. So I saw that you had posted all 3 of those, and I sent one to one of my newer girls, and she said, that's interesting that you sent that to me, because I've been doing some research. She had already started, like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. She said, because I had already researched and saw some people saying they had problems. She goes, so thank you so much for sending me that. And I was like, wow, we don't think about that sometimes, or I wasn't. So I like having that resource. And then one more quick thing on the messenger, like for all my level ones, the chat thread. So basically someone was asking me last night, I sent it to my top leaders on my team and asked them, I was like, hey, do you want to know what verbiage I'm sending? This is what I'm doing. Do you want to know what I'm saying? Of course they said yes. And of course the idea is to get as many people as we can to comment and say what their favorite flavor is if they're the winner. But of course it's genius to go ahead and send everyone at least one stick of what they said their favorite flavor was and go from there. And I'm kind of feeling like I might do some kind of giveaway. This would just be for my level ones. I added my 2023 people each month and maybe do something a little different.
I love that. Just like that intentionality, that urgency. And I feel like this is the thing, it's that intentionality. I don't have good retention with my personal level ones. I sign them up and I have my Project Broadcast thing that goes like, but for whatever reason, but I feel like this like little up level of creating that little community and the urgency of like dropping the fun little frother. It gives people, it's like a different feeling that they get, I think, than like a Plexus shaker bottle. And sometimes it's just something else that's working for people. And like, okay, let's pivot and try this. And I truly want to retain my VIPs better than I have. So
well, I'm spending less money doing it this way than I was doing the blender bottle.
And it's faster and easier. You're spending way less time also.
Plus I was having to pay someone to wrap it up and get it all ready and send it out.
Exactly. Exactly. Do you want to share?
So first off, I put a big dose of Mexican vanilla in my coffee. So apparently I'm drinking on Monday morning alcohol, so we'll see how this day goes.
So good. Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't really think about that. So just now I'm like,
It's not.
Why am I woozy?
We're living it up here on Monday morning. This is how you start the week. Anyway, so just a couple things. I'm just going to share just where I'm at. That's all I can really do, I think, at this point. But a couple interesting things happened all in the same time in the last couple of weeks. I think because God's faithful and patient, thankfully, with us. But one thing is, I don't know, I'd say even after I went diamond in 2020, I had this idea like, okay, so what's next? And we need to branch off and do different streams of income or different things, and diversify and all the things, which is smart. I think it's smart to do those things. Well, most of those things have failed. Not necessarily failed. Some of them have been, I think, postponed, but
Nothing's a failure.
right. Yeah, exactly. And so, and they have taken a lot of my time, which is fine. I mean, I'm not like, I don't feel guilty because of the intentions I've had. I don't like, I mean, they're all good intentions and all those things, but we only have so much time. And I have been thinking about this recently, and I went to lunch with a friend before we went to Mexico, and he's very successful. He is an actual billionaire with a B. And he's like, because usually I'm counseling him in light of spiritual things or family things. And this time he called me and he's like, hey, I'm going to take you out to lunch. He's like, I have some things that I need to tell you this time. You're going to sit and listen. I'm like, okay. And he was going on about how are all these other things going on and in your life, all these other different things you're pursuing. And I'm like, well, we went through it. And he's like, yeah, every time I veer off where I'm supposed to be going, he's like, it's usually painful and it costs me a lot of money. And he said, I think you need to get back on to just focusing on plexus. He said, when we first started hanging out, that's all you were focused on. And he said, my wife and I were like, we were just, I don't remember the word he used, but he's like, we were just amazed. Like we loved watching you and Megan. We loved watching your stories. Like it was amazing to watch. He's like, I don't think, you don't realize what you have with Plexus. He's like, I have 2 private jets. I have my own helicopters. And you guys have a more unique life than we do.
We get to travel more
And
with our kids.
you guys have freedom. You actually have time. He's saying, we don't. And he said, I think you need to stay focused on plexus. And I said, I think you're right. I said, I know you're right. And I said, I've tried all these other things, not out of, because I didn't like plexus. I was just like, well, okay, we hit a goal. Now we probably need to diversify or whatever. And not saying we shouldn't diversify. I don't think that's a terrible thing. But again, we only have so much time. And so a couple things in that. One is, for me, I have not been released from, I haven't been released by God from plexus. And so different things like different meetings, different events and things like that are a great reminder of that. And another thing that, as far as the streams of income thing, because I think streams of income are extremely important. Hey, what's up?
Morning, Kirk.
And so this is an interesting take in light of streams of income that dawned on me probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Every new level 1 of that I would sign up is a different stream of income.
Daniel G talked about that.
Isn't it amazing? So I was talking to that friend about this, and he's like, exactly. He's like, what an amazing business model. He's like, those are different streams of income if you look at it that way. And I thought, interesting. Exactly isn't it about right though? Usually what we go searching for, God has already probably placed in our path. Like we're always looking for the thing he already has right in front of our face. And so anyway, that's kind of just a little bit of where I'm at. We just have not been released from plexus to pursue other things. Maybe there will be a time for that, in the future. I don't know. And I'm open to whatever he wants. But for my take is, for me, for our family, is we're supposed to continue doing this and be content with what we're doing here and helping people with what we have here. This is what we have been doing and what we need to continue to do, not try to find the next thing, which I'm always guilty of, but trying to do, maybe I'm the only one, but anyway, that's a little bit of just kind of where I'm at and the things I'm learning.
Well, so what is your goal, or what you've told me some things?
As far as what?
like the last quarter or
Oh,
like
so
your
my
specific goals?
personal goals by I guess by the end of the year, and because that's when the next they have contests broke up now by like kind of like quarters, so which is really nice because they take some of the guesswork out of um, setting some 3-month, 90-day type goals. So for me, it's one is to re-rank diamond. Right now, I have sapphire points, and so is my personal goal is to re-rank diamond and to sweep the next the contest we're in now. I guess the Dominican Republic contest.
Mm-hmm.
So those are two of the goals I have set for the end of the year. So by December 31st.
Yes.
Yep.
So this is something that we had a dinner with Jessica and Rob and Sally and Brandon on Thursday night. And it was really interesting. Jessica's like, she was talking to Jordan, and Jordan at the pool was like, hey, you want to race? And Jessica's like, race for what? Because Jordan's like super, super competitive. And she's like, reentry emerald. And then Jessica's like, oh, okay, where are your points? And well, maybe I shouldn't say where the points are. But anyways, so Jordan's basically like senior gold, and Jessica's like 1,000-point club. Okay. And so Jessica's like, that's not fair. She's like, who cares? Like, you want to race? And so anyways, they're putting a plan together to basically create some sort of little thing to like motivate us as reentry jewels, or wanting to be reentry diamonds, whatever, reentry emeralds. And it got me thinking and also conversing. Jessica and some other girls were just kind of putting their brains together, like, okay, what if all of us came back next year to Maui with at least one new jewel? Like, that would literally change the entire face of the company if every diamond did that. Or if every jewel or sapphire did that, right? And so when I hear things like that, it inspires me, because I think one of the things is, once we hit like a big goal that we have had, there's a invitation or a temptation to just kind of sit back. And I don't know if you guys have felt that, but like each rank I felt like took me some pivots to be like, okay, well, if I'm going to go for the next rank or the next level, then we got to shift some stuff up. This team that I have now is not going to be the same. It's not going to look the same for when I hit the next rank. So I think what was so interesting, I think jewels and diamonds in some sense have gotten comfortable and maybe a little complacent. There was a whole stage full of new emeralds. There was 2 sapphires, I think, and 1 new diamond.
Yeah.
And I think some people thought, whoa, like our number should be way, way higher than that, because I think we've experienced there, some years in Plexus, it was, very much like a hyper growth stage. And it doesn't worry me necessarily, but I just think that there's a lot of people that have just gotten comfortable. And I noticed that temptation for myself. And I wrote this down. There's a temptation for me to lean toward lazy. And I can say what I want about, we're 8.5, almost 9 years into this. And so our life season looks very different than it did when we started Plexus 8 years ago. We had, our oldest was 10 and now he's 18. And there's,
we took 4 little kids to Mexico. Probably won't happen again.
That
was a lot of work. I need to go on vacation now that we're back.
Wait, what? We had the best time with the kids. They were the highlight of my trip.
Yeah, I know, but next time you're taking them. Megan and I are going to go.
They took all of our money, and I got to eat popsicles with Abigail. I mean, hello.
Like
no,
bets with David.
No, they had a good time with you guys, but
they had a blast.
Yeah,
but it's different when you take kids on a vacation. It becomes a trip for the parents, right?
It's a journey.
It was a decision we made, but
it was fun.
We're like, maybe next time we'll go as a couple. But anyway, so my thought is, can I continue, like, I don't know. I guess I'm just wanting to put myself into that higher level intensity, not burning myself out or anything like that, but I know that where God gives a calling, he gives the capacity. I've been practicing that thought. I've been also practicing that thought that Christina mentioned the last week, which is people will do hard things. People are still joining businesses and building businesses and, choosing to be an entrepreneur or whatever. And also I've been practicing this thought. I will miss 100% of the shots I don't take. And we may be like literally one person away from diamond or sapphire or whatever it is, literally. And so I'm just like, I want to say, one, I'm super thankful for you all, and I'm super proud of you all because you have continued to show up and do brave and scary things for the long haul. You literally have like long game in mind. And so super proud of all of you, all of us for that. And I think when we show up, it helps everyone else show up. When we are united, like Justin and I told him, I'm like, we are powerful when we're like both like common vision, in it to win it, right? From a plexus standpoint or whatever it is. And so I feel like we have come home with like a more refined, renewed vision. And I think us as one team Jules can be a really, really powerful force for our entire teams, like all of us, and including Tammy. I know she's not on, but I just think that we can really do some amazing things teaming up together. So wanted to mention really quickly the Power of Five John Maxwell book. I bought a box, 2 boxes actually. Amanda has 1 box, and she is shipping these out to people that ranked up in July and August. So, and that includes your people that ranked up. So I'm excited about that. She's sending a little handwritten note with them. And then I'm also reading the 21 Days of Prayer Over Your Business again. So if you have this book, I would crack it back open and read through it this month. It's just good stuff. And this is so basic, but it's so good. Like he has so many good little nuggets and takeaways. I like it that it's short and succinct, but I think there's a lot of people on our teams that they've never read like a basic about network marketing. And just like Trisha said, like who's in your earbud? The reason she's having such huge success, I think, is because she is, well, like she said, she's like, you got to get obsessed with your numbers. You got to get like re-energize yourself about network marketing. And Plexus specifically, our compensation plan is amazing. And so everything we do stems from our thoughts, our thinking, and our belief. And so like, if we want people to join us and be excited about what they're doing, I think that starts with us. And so for me personally, having my brain even just a few minutes a day in a little book like this is so impactful. So wanted to just pitch this. If you haven't read it, or even if you have, crack it back open. If you need a copy of it, message me and I'll drop one in the mail for you. So, okay.
I was going to say one thing about that too,
Yeah.
Megan, is that the people that she recommended or that she says she listens to, that was one of the things I forgot to mention, is that like I started following all of them. And it's like, that's what's in my feed on Instagram. Because in Instagram, the only thing I was looking at was stories anyway. And just to have those, and I mean, some of them, they don't have the best language, but chew up the meat, spit out the bones. But the one thing that she said, and I was just on a call with a new girl last night who wants to build the business, is I said, your belief, this was Trisha's number 1 strategy, is belief. Mm-hmm. If your belief is not rock solid and you are not in love with the network marketing model, and even me, like sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm doing network marketing. We kind of shy away from that verbiage, but it has to be. Like I was just spewing it out to this girl last night, and I was like, I need to make sure I take this, that I'm believing what I'm saying about, marketing and stuff. But some of those high, I don't know what the word is, but the people that she follows that are like huge at network marketing, all kinds of companies. I mean, they really speak life into you. I mean, I'm not taking it from a weird perspective of like anything biblical. Obviously, that's our focus needs to be on the Lord first, but in light of our business and just hearing what other people, how they're successful and that sort of thing.
And if we're not personally like paying for coaching, then I think we have to be intentionally putting ourselves in a position to be encouraged. And so for me personally, that's from book mentors like John Maxwell or some of those like high intensity top salespeople or top network marketers, because they have belief that I want to I want to own, right? Because I think that's also, it's just attractive to people that are looking for us, you know.
Right.
Okay, so the dive in IPA challenge ended last night at midnight. So I tagged a few people in my chat thread that I saw. I say my, but it's like ours. It's like
Uh-huh.
your people too. So maybe you should find out from your people, you know, find out, shout them out. And they earned Jessica's jewel call. Is that next week? Maybe it's this week. I can't remember. But it's like a workshop style. So I
It's
think
next week,
really
yeah.
cool. Okay, yeah. And so I'm excited about that. I was like, I try to be really bold. Hopefully it's like in a good way, but I'm like, guys, I don't even know how many people are in that chat thread, like 75 probably or more. I'm like, every single one of you should be saying that you completed this challenge if you're saying that you want Punta Cana. Like, did you guys see those numbers? If a new person adds 20 people this month, they earn it. And that's not even based off of 100% retention the next 4 months. That's just because we have doubled credits, and they will make close to $2,000. And so I would be vision cut. Like if you have influencer type people either on your team or not on your team yet, that 20 people is like nothing to those people. Like they can make a post on Instagram and get 20 orders.
It's $2,200. $2,200 because I sent this to my girl last night. But what are you saying? If they add 20 level ones, they earn Punta Cana?
Mm-hmm.
Just
the numbers are on the Momentum Makers group. It's all broken down, so you can go look at it. But
okay.
I mean, Samuel, we were talking to him before work today. He's like, wait, I only need 20 people. He goes, how many people do I need to get to gold? I'm like, 17. He's like, okay. His wheels were turning. But I'm like, yeah, we could quadruple earn the trip. I'm like, but you have to start talking to people about it.
Yeah.
Because we got him signed up right after his birthday last month. So I don't know if Justin's gonna pull an Amy Booker and help him go faster at gold or not. We'll see.
That's an idea. I'm sitting because I'm holding on to Elijah and I'm thinking about adding him this month. Wow, I hadn't really thought that through.
And sometimes starting fresh like that, like Trisha starting her reentry, I noticed a big shift in my intentionality and my energy and focus when I re-entered. I was like, oh, yay, I'm gonna go silver. Let me hit that goal. And sometimes we don't see the forest for the trees because we're wandering around in that, whatever it is, 1,200 point spot or 3,300 point spot, whatever. And I think that was like I pretended like I had no team. I was just stalled out at 2,000 points. Didn't seem to matter what I did. My points did not move. And so it was that when I decided to like pretend I didn't have a team and I'm just going to like restart myself. I didn't actually re-enter, but you know what I mean? It made a big difference. So, so shout out your people that earned that IPA challenge. And then my thought is, if you haven't gone to each of your people, like for sure the people that you consider your workers or even part-time people, find out who wants to earn Punta Cana. I think that is number one thing for us as leaders is like, let's find out who, because if we find out who, then we know who to invest time in. I would also go through your list of who has added people this month on your team, all levels, and do a little vision casting with them. Like, hey, I saw you added a new VIP. Congratulations. Super proud of you. Would love to hear, tell me about that person. But then kind of have that little conversation like, hey, it's not this next contest for earning that Punta Cana trip, all inclusive, is structured for new people to earn it. I think we need to make sure we're telling people that. It's not like for the top 20 people in Plexus. That's not how this contest is structured. So we need to be doing that. Angie and I did a little contest with each other last week. I got to count up my numbers, Angie. I don't know how many, but to do 50 reach outs about the business, whether it's earning Punta Cana and, people within our team already, which I feel like is more warm market recruiting, so to speak, or just new people that we see some level of spark in. I don't know if you guys saw, but I popped my message that I sent and the screenshot of the girl that, she just added her 4th or 5th last night. She started in like a month ago, but I cold messaged her. Like it was the first interaction that I had with her. And you can go listen to the message, but she's like, you just caught me at a great time. She's like, I have Lyme and she lives like 30 minutes from me. She's farm wife, has a couple kids, homeschool, similar lifestyle, I guess. And so I just said, hey, would you be open to chatting? And so she needed a product experience first, but she's literally telling everybody. And I'm doing a sip and see for her at her house on Thursday. And she's like, I am so excited about this. She's like, I have so much interest in people. I'm like, I'm seeing people in the store or seeing people. And I'm like, hey, like, I want to hear more about that. Like, are you hosting something? Like, can we come over? So anyways, all that to say, don't overthink stuff. Like if you have on your mind, like as you're scrolling through your green dots or whatever, don't be afraid to just voice message, even if you've never talked to them before. Just like, hey, because we're looking for people that are looking for us. We're looking for new star diamond legs, right? Or whatever your goal is. And that just has really shifted my focus in a big way. Okay. The other thing I want to
Hey, can I say something real quick about green dots?
Yeah.
Have you guys noticed at the top of Messenger where like the little bubbles are? Have you seen the thought bubbles? Go look at your Messenger right now. Pull that up on your phone and look at where you can say stuff. You click on your name, you can put a little thought there. I'm getting tons. I went through and responded to all the people that had a thought bubble, and I put my own thought bubble. I'm getting tons of engagement.
I don't see it. So you can so you go to the top and what am
okay, so yeah, like see, like at the very top, refresh your page and see. Because can you see those thought bubbles? See how people have words above over their names?
I see that on yours. I don't have that.
I don't have any on mine either. I don't see Mine's just the green dot.
Maybe we need to download like the newest version or something.
Probably. Because like I was telling Rita about it and she put on hers, I've lost 65 pounds so far. Who's interested? And she's getting like people are responding back. Mine is just I saw your thing about reading Psalm 23 every day. So I put that on there and I've had like 8 people respond back. Yeah, I'll read it every day for 10 days with you. So it's just another way to, cause you know, sometimes you don't know what to say to people, but you can interact.
Yeah.
I think
that's what we need to be doing. Can you?
Rita had to update hers. She did tell me that now that I'm thinking
about it. Can I ask you this real quick? Is it the new iOS update?
I have no idea.
Can you pop that? Like that's such a good idea for like connecting.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's called your note. To me, it's a thought bubble because that's what it looks like. But I mean, I would think you would probably have to be updated.
Probably. Oh, I love that idea.
At least in Messenger.
Let's teach people that because that's a great way for them to connect. Because it's not all about cold messaging or blasting plexus necessarily, but we have to be connecting with people. It's a little bit of all the things, right? So, okay. So whoever wants to join in with us on the 50 reach outs, specific business reach outs, hopefully all of you are game. And then, okay. The other thing is posting more. I don't know if you all caught my live from the other day, but that is a consistent theme. The girls that shared on the team call that earned this last leaders retreat at the 11th hour, two of the things that were a consistent theme. One, they started praying over their business. Newsflash, like, oh, should we be surprised? And then 2, they're like, we posted more. And so I think we need to throw out ditch the idea of 1 post a day and everything else in your stories. I think that we need to go back to encouraging people to post 3 times a day. 1 life, 1 product, 1 business, and then do a call to comment every couple times a week. I think that we're not, I don't think that we're showing up enough. And that's basically what Trisha Rieger was saying is like, she's showing up so much and it's not just blasting plexus. It's she's sharing her life and people are like intrigued and they're like, oh, interesting. So just wanted to put that out there too, because really for us, posting is not hard. Hopefully you don't think it's hard. I feel like even if it's, you got to go just source some testimonies, do it. If bare bones, if that's what you have to do. I see like Joanna Slavin a year and a half ago in Portugal said, I don't work Instagram. I just work Facebook and I post at least 5 times a day. And she does like 99% original content. Some of it is like sharing people's stories and sharing their results and things like that. A lot of before after. She does a lot of weight loss promotion because that's what helped her. but I'm just taking mental notes going, if it's that simple to be training our people to just up level their posting, make it personal and do it more. That's that's not hard. So my thought is, can we try it? Like as a group of jewels, can we just try it and see what happens? Did you guys all do a post audit? What was your thoughts on that? Angie, what was I know you did it. What did you think?
Yeah. So it was super evident that I was not posting enough. I had gotten super, well, I don't want to say lazy, but I had gotten lazy and not putting stuff on my Facebook wall. And I do everything in my stories, but the truth is different people see the feed rather than the stories. Like they just do. And, my call to comments the past month have literally been blowing up. So it's giving me opportunity to have, it's not like people are all of a sudden coming to me going, oh, hey, tell me about Plexus. No, but it's giving me opportunity to have conversation. And like Trisha said, she's like, I'm having a minimum of 40 conversations daily. That's not always 40 new conversations, but it's, and she said when she's posting, her stuff is not always about, it's usually not even about Plexus, but people start following, people want that life type, like what she's doing or whatever. Like her world, even though we both have 7 kids, I'm in a totally different place in life. Like I'm not doing the thing that she's doing, but I'm taking her stuff and making it work for my life, or, implementing my life in it. So as far as I've really beefed it up.
Can I just ask a question really quickly? The 50 business reach outs. Tell me about that. What is that little competition that you're doing?
Oh, Angie, I was like, hey, Angie, this was after one of the
She knows how to get me.
One of the meetings. I'm like, hey, well, I think it might have stemmed from Christina saying something about doing 50 reach outs. I'll send you some screenshots that Christina shared, like what they were doing, just to invite people to earn Punta Cana, specifically Punta Cana. But I don't feel like the business reach out has to be anything specific. It could be as simple as, hey, I think you'd be good at what I do. Would you be open to a conversation? But
okay, so is there a prize at the end of this?
We can make a prize.
Are we going to put money into a pot? Can we put money into a pot?
I'm
asking because this is what incentivizes Lisa. So
yes,
that's awesome.
Let's find a prize for Lisa.
Let's pop it in the pot. Are we doing this as a team or just us, Jules? I mean, I guess my thought.
Well, I don't know.
Why wouldn't we do it as a team? Actually,
yeah.
Okay, so number one, that sounds super easy to have it be a business reach out when we're talking about Punta Cana and how easy it is to earn it. So really quick question, 20 ads. I'm assuming that is whether you're a current VIP or is it just a new VIP? Somebody that's brand new, are we as far as earning it?
I think it's brand new because then they're going to earn rank ups credits. Okay.
So
brand new person, so that would be a perfect business reach out. I think we should have the whole team do it because
why wouldn't we?
To just say the 50 reach outs, if there's not a simple, like, oh my gosh, guys, this is so easy to do. Yeah.
So it is with $150 order. So that's something to keep in mind, but still. So what if a few of those people get a few people?
Okay. That's order 150.
There's a breakdown on the Momentum Makers group. I think
I'll tag you in it, Lisa.
Okay, sorry.
So it does include rank up. So ranking up to silver is 100 credits. Ranking up to senior silver is 120. Ranking up to gold is 140. But it would give them over the credits they need. They would end them with 1360. And then for fast start cash bonuses, they would make 1720 plus the 250 perk points and Bluetooth speaker.
So and do you have samples of how you're, like when someone says you're talking to Sally Smith and you reach out to her and she says, I'd love to earn that. How are you doing it and not being overwhelming, just in a practical way? You have that on Momentum Makers or?
Yeah. Oh, I can tell you. I do the PLP.
Okay.
It's like my hand-holdy system and it's super, super simple. And I keep track of who's where in the process, like who's made their first post, who's made a list and sent it back to me. So it's kind of like I'm giving them little homework assignments. If they say, hey, I want to earn this, I'm giving them specific, tangible.
How are you keeping track of that? Do you have a notebook?
On a piece of paper.
And do you do it? I know that sounds silly, but I have to write stuff down myself too. And I feel like I overcomplicate it sometimes, or I don't I feel like it's too much, then I don't end up organizing myself.
Mhm. Yeah, so
do you-
just get it on paper.
Okay, can you
and write
screenshot
down
what you have? Can
who
you just
says yes.
screenshot-
Yeah,
Sorry,
he
go
says
ahead.
yes, and then like I write down PLP, and then I check mark which ones they've done. Because this is like hand-holdy with kind of, these are not runners. Like the girl I signed, she's running. Like she's making a graphic for her event. She's creating a Facebook group so that we have something to host after the event to funnel all the people in that didn't come to her live event, you know. So there are some people that are going to take the ball and run with it more, and then other people are like, hey, did you make your post? Or hey, did you make your list yet? Send it to me when you get it. But I'm telling them, make a list of product user people, potential product users, potential for the business.
Hey, here's just one quick thought. I know paper and pencil, but you're out and about so much. Do you ever just do notes in your phone? Like go to the notes section
Mhm.
and just like business reach outs and put, hey, I reached out to Julie and Jenny and Angie, and you know, that way, if you don't have your pad of paper with you, at least you, like, I like to write things down too, but half the time I'm in this office, that office, at my kitchen table, wherever, in my car. That might be helpful.
So
Yes.
are we gonna ask our teams then? Are we gonna say that this is team-wide, the 50 reach outs?
Yeah,
And how long?
I can get a post up, and I have sample messages also from Christina that I screenshotted. And they're super simple, but I mean, it can be an easy voice message also. I gotta run because
Okay,
the lady's here to draw my.
okay, you can run. Oh, you can run. We're gonna still talk. I think we should do the whole team, but I also think we should do like something for if all the jewels do it, then you know it can be a small prize, but we need some sort of recognition because we're jewels, and then have a separate thing for the newbies that are running with it. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to get Lisa encouraged here.
Okay.
She needs.
Send me
And
what
then
is fun.
Okay.
Let's do whoever, what if we did like a Stanley mug for whoever earns this on our team? We could do maybe a couple of Stanley mugs, depending on how many people play.
So we could even do it like I could award a Stanley mug to my team, whoever, you know, we could do it that way. And then
Yeah,
Megan can come up with a fun way to acknowledge and give Lisa a prize.
That way we're not having to put money into the pot then. That's what you're saying. We would just award our own people.
Yeah, each jewel team can figure out. And lastly, sorry, my voice is cracking. I truly have to run, but just wanted to mention, we're gonna pivot and no more Monday calls. We're gonna team up and do this 5-week jewel call with Megan Malakovich, Jordan, Andrea, Derek, Joanna Miller. And so
I love Andrea Derek. I spent time
I
with
know
her.
they're amazing. So just wanted to mention, I'll give the details, but I gotta run. Thanks guys for popping on. Love you, love you, love you.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.